So my name is Teresa. I am a 33-year-old woman living with multiple chronic illnesses, including POTS, fibromyalgia, arthritis, and GERD. Um, these are multiple different illnesses that can conflict with each other. I am currently using a wheelchair outside of my home, which has been the best thing for me personally. And every person with multiple chronic illnesses are different. Um, I recently just found out I had POTS, and POTS is a positional um, part of your body, whether it's standing or sitting for long periods of time. It can affect your body and your blood pools, causing you to faint. There's a huge thing that goes along with it, and I'll go more in depth with that later. Fibromyalgia affects your whole body, constant pain, chronic fatigue, lack of appetite, weight gain, or weight loss, depending on who you are. And it affects your overall health and the way you feel. Um, Up until I was 27, I was working part-time jobs, taking care of 3 kids by myself. I got married back in 2018, and in 2020 or 2019, right before COVID hit and everything got shut down, is when I started to get really sick. I had a miscarriage, which I will talk about another time on here. And shortly after that, I started passing out, having multiple fainting episodes, sleeping 3 to 4 hours at a time. They thought I had narcolepsy, so they were testing me for that. And I am a military wife on top of that. So a lot of the things that run at home is done by me. And at this point in time, that is no longer a case because I can no longer function on my own. I have lost my ability to drive. I have lost my ability to cook. And this is going to be a journey of me getting some of that independence back. I may never be able to drive by myself again because it just wouldn't be safe overall for other people. But I might be able to cook again. I might be able to start baking again. Um, and this is also going to be my first time in 4 years with no kids in the house because my daughter starts kindergarten on Tuesday. Um, So this is going to be my journey through this process of finding myself with a life of chronic illness, and the grieving process of not having that life I used to have. I was very outdoorsy, working on cars, motorcycles, anything that could be done outside, I would do. I'd be game for it. I am a very spontaneous person. If I go, hey, let's go to the beach today, I'm down to drive 3 hours to the beach. I can no longer do those things. I can't go to concerts and stand for 4 or 5 hours in the mosh pit and dance like everybody else because POTS causes vertigo. And swinging your body around when you have vertigo makes the room swing. So it's just simple things that I miss, and how I find myself a new self through this journey of chronic illness, and knowing that there's no cure for my treatments. I have treatments, I get medications for it, looking into service animals, and it's going to be a journey of all of that. You know, how to deal with service animals, how to deal with chronic illness, deal with the home nurses that come 3 times a week to check on me and make sure I have my meds and make sure I'm not having any side effects to said medications. And just overall, what it's like to be a military wife and a mother of 3, one teenager, one middle schooler, or one preteen, I guess, and one that's a toddler. Well, a very new kid. She is 5 years old. I have a 14-year-old who is a boy, and he has multiple illnesses as well. He is autistic, he has Tourette's, and he has ADHD, along with my son who has ADHD, ODD, and then my daughter who is being tested for autism, ADHD, and all those other things, and how to deal with the process through it all. It's very different from us because we are a military family. We move every 3 to 5 years, and that affects greatly on the amount of care that you get. And then dealing with those bad days. Particularly today is a bad day for me. I am exhausted. But I am also a mother. And we have an open house today. So I will use my wheelchair. I will take a nap. And I will get ready to go out and spend some time with my daughter and meet her new teachers and meet her new school and get everything situated. My older 2 kids go to a civilian school, where my daughter goes to a military school, or a school on base. And our life in Georgia and how we're dealing with it in our process through chronic illnesses and mental health. And if you want to join me on this journey of mine, that would be absolutely amazing. You can subscribe and like. I probably will only do videos 2 times a week at most, just because I am still severely ill. And I will talk about what I've learned through that time period and how I've gone from a wheelchair bound person to back up and walking. And if you want to join me on that journey, I'd be amazing to have some supporters in this process. Thank you. Goodbye.